Welcome to the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular, featuring live plays, contests, and we'd like to thank our sponsors and our special guests, and we hope that you enjoy.
Think so.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Summer Spectacular Crowdsurfing edition.
I need to.
Wait.
Woo. I'm coming over.
It was close.
There we go.
I was like,
We're good
1,
now.
2,
Shut up.
1, you know, remember that, Tom?
All right, now I gotta go
Can I
back.
help you? Jeez.
Well, I wasn't in camera frame. I was
Welcome to the
helping myself
Crowdsurfing
into
Summer Spectacular
crowdsurfing.
edition, is what I meant to say. Well, we got to get jumping on this because we have more Summer Spectacular because some of y'all are about to lose 7 Wonders.
Yeah, he's Tom, that's Z, that's Camilla, and I'm Mike.
He got
Let's
it.
go.
Nailed it.
Done.
I'm still out of frame.
So, as always, when we do the show, we take a look at games that are on Kickstarter and GameFound
Let's go, jeez.
that are in the next 10 days or so. Only one from GameFound. We'll have a lot from GameFound next week.
You probably need to warn the people right now that there's not going to be the non-game project.
Yes, and I'm saving them for next week also. I have some good
when
ones.
Mike's
We don't
not
have
here.
time for
Got
that.
Yeah,
it.
yeah. We're going to have the funny ones when Mike's not here.
Yeah.
And he's
well.
got to do his comments from Indiana.
That's
That's
right.
fine.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
That really is you in the comments?
You better believe it.
Wow.
And my many other minions who have access to that account.
It's
That's what I
AI.
figured.
Yeah,
It was
it's
actually
AI.
like, yeah, okay.
It's easy to build like AI bot.
Siri,
You just go.
write something witty.
Is there a contest or anything going on?
We have
I
Mark's.
don't know.
Let's just start off with Mark. We're going to start with Mark.
What? Oh, Streed, yes, I know.
Streed Spotlight is brought to you by Pillars of Heracles. Lead your city-state through a monumental adventure in ancient Greece. In this epic civilization board game for 1 to 4 players, awaken the legends. Set sail on a timeless journey through ancient Hellas. In Pillars of Heracles, an epic civilization board game, a world where myths come alive, heroes defy fate, and the course of history lies in your hands. Witness the birth of Greek civilization, a time when city-states like Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and others surged across the Mediterranean, driven by ambition and a pioneering spirit to forge empires. You will encounter iconic figures from Greek history and mythology, engage in trade and diplomacy, and face challenges and rewards of city building. Every decision you make will shape the fate of your city-state and determine your path to victory. Your strategic decisions will direct armies, erect monumental structures, and align with ancient prophecies. Dive into a game that blends strategy, diplomacy, and adventure, challenging you to leave a mark on history that stands the test of time. Will you challenge the wisdom of the mighty Olympian gods to lead your city-state to greatness, or will you rely on cunning tactics and military might to conquer your rivals? Join us on this epic odyssey and forge your legacy in Pillars of Heracles. For more information, please check out the campaign, which is now live on Kickstarter.
All right, let's start off with Who's Afraid?
Of Virginia Woolf.
Virginia Wolf, right. Oh, man, that's weird. I was thinking the same thing. Of The Big Bad Wolf. The Big Bad Wolf is the name of the game here. I like it. It's based on the 3 Little Pigs, in case you were wondering.
No.
Heard of it.
So this is this one's just kind of a smaller project.
Yeah.
The first time guy. Do not answer. Don't look. Too late.
Too
Now
late.
you saw a weird way to.
Kind of reminds me of that monster at the end of the book.
Yeah.
You know, the old Elmo one.
Yeah. No, it reminds me of like the old Looney Tunes cartoons, too, where they've scrolled down the sign.
I like the look of this actually. For me, it's like a charming look.
You mean the actual aesthetic of it?
Yeah, I'm not. The game is the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not a bad looking game at all. No, I kind of like it. It's distinctive. It looks
It is.
coherent, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it has more personality
Yeah.
in like the cards and the theme that.
That's what it is, yeah. There's a charm and a soul and a personality to this, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it looks good.
Now drop your hammer.
No, I'm not dropping the hammer. It's a very simple bluffing game, right?
Yeah, it
I mean,
reminded
yeah.
me of that Halloween one that's kind of similar to this, where you're giving a card to someone and they have to decide if they're keeping it or taking it.
A trick or treat?
Trick
Yeah,
or treat, yeah,
it's
the
a little trick or
Emerson
treat
game.
ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of reminded me of that, but with less decisions behind it, less gameplay.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a very simple bluffing game, which is going to probably be, that's a wide, a thing that's going to have wide appeal.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
People understand
Yeah.
bluffing, you know what I mean?
This begs the question: is the wolf from the Three Little Pigs and the wolf in Red Riding Hood same wolf, brother wolves?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh.
Do they know each other?
Are they from
Do
the
they?
same
Universe? Yeah, the Grimm cinematic universe.
They're both from Grimm.
I like this Cuphead style deck, by the way. I really like. I don't know what it is. Cuphead is a style that really
It's
appeals
a
to me.
neat
That's-
look until it's gonna. It hasn't got oversaturated yet. I think it will hit a tipping point, but it's
Yeah.
still cool right now.
Right now, yeah. I think the two decks compared, I like the other one better.
Yeah.
But had that been the only one offered, I would have thought it was charming.
And then you get the boy
Again,
who
I think
cried
it's
wolf.
weird that that caught on. That we're calling that the Cuphead style.
Yeah.
And not the
Even though Cuphead is
Steambook Willie
from
or
the-
Steambook
right.
Willie.
There
or
was an
whatever.
actual
Noodle
term
or whatever.
for it, like
Noodle
a noodle
or something?
something or other. Yeah. There was an actual term
Noodle
for
what?
it.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. There was a
All right,
name.
next game. Dabba Walla. Dabba
Walla.
Walla. So this is
Dabba
actually
Walla.
not the first game based on this very exact thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rio Grande had a game that came out based on this food
Well,
delivery.
I mean, yeah, it's coming from,
Yeah.
second most populous continent in the world. It doesn't surprise me we're getting two games about this thing. I still think it's a very unique concept, and I like the idea that it does seem to have some thematic connections there because they basically point at like all of these workers that are doing this every day are kind of having to solve their own puzzle. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so that's kind of neat.
Yeah, this seems cool. I like the look of this. I like what's going on in it.
I must say, we give Queen a lot of grief, but
Yes.
this one I'm very interested
But it's
in.
also
as well.
original. I mean, it's not
is,
a
yeah,
remake
yeah.
of something else or another. Let's just
Correct.
change the tile. Wait,
Correct.
something like that. It's
Yeah.
an original game they're doing. I'm a real big fan of like two-phase games. You know, you do something here and then you flip the board over, or you go into adventure mode, something like that. And so I'm intrigued by that. The first half you're strategizing and kind of taking all the orders, and the second half delivering. I think that's a neat system.
And Queen does a lot of games that have the same setting, to be fair.
True.
There's a lot of like, hey, look, it's in the desert. Again,
Right.
in the same time period.
Yeah.
So this is nice to see.
Yeah. I
As a
agree.
side note, don't be tricked
Yeah, don't be fooled.
into accidentally buying graffiti. It's terrible.
Oh, really?
Okay, it looks cool.
It does.
It's terrible.
Oh.
All right, but
Like why? Like why would I like it?
it's like a worker placement game with 3 different spots to put your people,
Okay.
but it feels like 2.
I edited the review. You don't want any part
Oh,
of it.
okay. Mike doesn't like it. Okay, I'm good.
Wow, I needed Mike's back up there.
Yeah, she was definitely like, so?
I was like, no,
Yeah.
no, I just know, Tom, you and I have
So
pretty
tell me
different
about it.
tastes. No, we have
Tell me
different
about
taste in games. That's all.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Too late.
The first
So-
player marker
God.
is an actual
Hey,
spray
one thing
paint
I was hoping that would be in this is Queen often does the acrylic tiles.
Yeah.
And I like them a lot. And I didn't. Are they not in this? I didn't see them in
I
here.
don't know. I
That's
didn't
kind
go
of-
to
No,
the
that's the next
pledge
Kickstarter.
levels, I don't think.
It's gonna,
Well,
that's in 6 months.
That'll be in a couple of
This
weeks.
may be a game that is ready to be delivered now too. Let me see.
What is-
When is
the
it? Yeah, when does
date?
it deliver?
August.
Well, there you go.
Help
Means
them
it-
get this game made.
It'll-
This game will never get made if you don't back it.
That means it's probably going to be a Gen Con.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, maybe they'll have acrylic tiles there.
That could be.
All right. Adventure Journal. Thaloria Quest. So we had a little bit of I think an advertisement for this last
I
week.
missed this.
Oh, I didn't see it.
And so this is a journaling experience. Now, I thought, when he first told me about this, I thought it was like really geared towards kids. But after going through it, I'm not so sure it is. There's a lot of stuff in there that are for adults.
I'm getting called out here in the chat.
About India.
I didn't say Asia is the most popular. I said India is the second most populated. China is the most populated.
Yes.
And they're calling
actually,
me out.
No.
Oh.
I think India passed China recently.
Oh, okay. Well, that
It's
could
really
be.
close.
That could be. But
Okay.
they're saying, yeah, I didn't talk about the continent. I'm talking about countries. All right, go ahead.
So what this is, if you've not seen it, look, Camilla's in the thing.
What?
What?
Well,
Nah, keep on going.
No, we're gonna stay here for a while.
What's her
that's
quote? I would like you to read
uncomfortable.
her
That's
So
super
what this
awkward.
is it's a journal,
Okay.
and it's you gamify your life essentially.
It's somewhere between a journal and a planner. I think it's closer.
Okay.
But like where you have your weekly tasks that you set for yourself and your daily tasks, and so as you check off and you do those, you get experience points, which you can then turn in to go on different quests, things like that. So it's like a little mini RPG wrapped up into your journal planner that you would do. I used it with my son specifically just to help him organize his time. It's something that if I had, when I was homeschooling, like absolutely, because we definitely did daily journaling so that he had to plan his day and plan his subjects and homework time and that stuff. But even outside of that, I mean, this was just 6 months ago or so that I used it with him, and it was a lot of fun. It was nice to have that moment where we came together. He knew his plan for the day. He was excited the night to go through and wrap it up and see his experience points and see how he wanted to build his character. He really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, I think now looking at the page, it's something that I would be interested in doing as well, because I do love planning, like planners and stuff, and always have one
I think with kids, though, this is 100% not something you're going to be able to hand your kid and they will do. I don't think.
No,
you have to be heavily involved.
I don't know if you have to be heavily.
At least to start. This is not
to start for sure.
To start, but then to say, here's the things. It also has a few things I thought were repetitious. Like they're like in the morning, they're like notes. Then on the side, evening thoughts, and then on over here, miscellaneous. I'm like, that's all the same thing, you know. And I'm trying to explain the difference to Jimmy. He's like, well, what's the difference? I'm like, these are thoughts you have in the morning. The notes are thoughts you have during the day, and then also, I don't mean to sound negative because I think it's a fine thing, but I was sitting there going, I don't know that I would want to keep both a weekly schedule and another daily schedule here, and then a monthly. It's a good chunk of work. You're going to do a decent amount of work to gamify it. It's not plug and play.
I think it's more about the crossroads between the two, because like if you look into journaling and plan, I mean, look at like Panda Planner, for example, or something like that, where there's like the research and the study behind it of how to organize your time for efficiency and for it's like brain exercise kind of stuff. And so it is important to do your daily, your morning task, you know, setting your goals for the day, or your kind of your what do they call it? Your morning I am
Ritual.
statement, whatever that's called, your morning affirmations and stuff like that, and then your evening kind of your gratitude journal in the evening, stuff like that. So there's a lot of science behind it and why it's organized like that. But you also, like Tom was saying, you have to kind of know your style, and is that something you're interested in? You know, do you need help with the organization?
Yeah, like with my son, I'm concentrating on the daily stuff.
Got it.
And because he doesn't need a monthly schedule, he doesn't need to know.
Got it. And my son is older than yours
tasks,
too.
yeah,
and so that's I mean, you're getting the teenage years, definitely needing that weekly and monthly with sports and stuff.
Thoughtsy? Streed?
No. I can make these for you guys. Hey, if you edit a video, 1,000 experience points.
Ooh. Can I roll dice?
I'm in.
I will say that I had a hard time getting Jimmy into the reward system. I was like, you'll level up. And he was like, uh-huh. He said, I feel like this is just a way to get me to do work.
Correct.
I was like, that is correct.
But if they already have to do it, why not couple it?
That sounds like me actually being like, gamify my life. Okay.
Yeah.
I earn a fancy hat.
But then I told him, I said, when you get to level 2, you get $2. When you get to level 3, you get $3.
Now we're talking.
And then he was more like,
More interested.
all right, I'm in now.
Yeah.
Motivated
Level 2,
by
gummy
cold
bears.
hard cash.
Level
I was
3,
like, you get
ice
to beat
cream.
this monster. And he was like, yes.
But I have to wash
But I can
dishes
play
to do
the
it.
Switch. I'm like, well,
All right, here we go.
Yeah,
We'll
he
see.
knows.
all right, Village Pillage, big box plus new expansion. This is definitely a pretty long time frame between when this game came out.
Yeah, I feel like
and
it.
this. But I also know that there was the company Bluebeard Entertainment went through some stuff and all. Village Pillage is a very light game. It's definitely in the very long list of games, which is like 99% of every game made, that does not need a big box edition. Okay?
Yes.
The expansion's fine. I don't know how. Did they show the big box compared to this regular box in here at all?
The physical size, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like a game that warranted a big box.
Yeah, right.
But that's what I don't know what big
small
box means. The game is this small here.
Okay.
If
Looks
big
like a
box
book.
is
It looks
this,
like the size
if
of a
big
book.
box is a
Yeah.
Carcassonne, fine.
Or even like bites up there.
I did
or-
enjoy the Jolly Plague Doctor, though. That was nice.
Have you played this game, Tom?
I have.
Do you like this game, Tom?
I like it. I don't love it. I like it. I think it's fine. It's a whole, if I pick this and you pick that and then we see what happens. I think
Right.
the art's fun. I don't know that I would recommend it for you, for example. But I think it works well with families.
Oh, go.
There was one thing
Oh,
I
no.
thought was confusing,
That's
and there's like one of the expansion modules is the emotions expansion module. Did you guys see that?
Oh, I
didn't
didn't.
catch
no.
I'm like, you're like, and you have that emotion for the entire game. And I'm not sure if they meant that's a mechanism, or if they meant that's like a
role play?
Yeah, do we act out role play our game session or anything like that? It wasn't explained very well, or maybe I just missed it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's near the top. They were like, oh, the emotion expansion or whatever. I'm like,
Z, I want you to, you're petulant. You're going to be petulant this whole game.
So designer
Play this
Peter
card.
Hayward, who is Mr. Bluebeard himself, and you will see this if you go to Con, he has a blue beard. But like it says, Critter Kitchen, which is about to be released soon, his design.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But this is his company, I think. Yeah, this is his design. No, the design is Tom Lang.
Okay.
By the way, I'm not a big fan of.
Ooh, I like her
I had a
hair.
feeling this was coming.
I'm not. If you're going to give me a biography of you, give me a biography. Like Tom has a simple dream, a turnip-based economy. This he hopes will be the first step towards making that dream a reality. When he isn't surfing, turfing, or working on his dark arts and crafts, Tom is a Melbourne-based science communicator. That told me almost nothing about you, Tom.
That seems like I don't want you to know anything about me. Like, that's the kind of biography I would write. I'd be like, here's a bunch of fluff.
seems okay to me.
Camilla drives cars.
It just, I don't know, these biographies where they like he the whole time, like, okay, cool. I mean, I guess that's better than
happens
the
a
guy
lot.
who goes, I have saved humanity from cancer with my board games.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. All-time wrestling, Rumble in Abu Dhabi. Well, this one, I mean, realize as we talk about it, we just got paid to play this live yesterday in the
Correct.
Summer Spectacular.
Right.
And the first time it was for Kickstarter. This is a wrestling game made by and for wrestling fans.
Yes.
Now, wrestlers, as far as I can tell, you have to purchase the IP per wrestler. So
Oof. Oh.
that's why, you don't. I don't know that you go to WWE or one of its competitors and get them.
It's not Marvel package. It's,
Yeah, so
Okay,
they don't have enough
interesting.
regular wrestlers, so they have. In this one, the big two wrestlers are Sergeant Slaughter and Junkyard Dog.
These names, good night.
But they also have their
You know
own
who Sergeant
made-up
Slaughter
ones.
I
is?
have no idea. I don't
What
care.
about Junkyard Dog?
No.
Do you know G.I. Joe?
Yes.
That's Sergeant
Sergeant
Slaughter.
Slaughter was so popular, he became a character in G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Junkyard Dog had chains that
Yeah. He would.
Yeah.
he would
And
bring
he
out.
had
You ever heard of
dogs,
Blue's
too.
Clues?
He'd come up with dogs, too.
Have you heard of Blue's Clues? Junkyard Dog was so popular, he became a character in Blue's Clues. He's the male.
I've
It never fails.
And Kamala, Nick Aldis, Johnny Alltime, Brian Pillman, the Dynamite Kid, OMZ, and Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is a person from history, so
Oh, is that
so is-
Gilgamesh?
it is that Gilgamesh
so
from
is Dynamite.
Sumeria.
Okay.
So's Dynamite Kid.
Okay. Anyway, you can go back and get the previous ones. They got Randy Savage, Andre the Giant,
Kurt
British
Angle.
I know
Bulldog.
that
So they have a
one.
lot of wrestlers, and this adds Rumble mode, and we played a mode which was free fall, which is you can play the
Free
original game
for
was
all
two
or
people.
free fall?
Free for all. Listen to me carefully.
Yeah.
Free fall.
Yeah, you messed up.
okay.
You're embarrassing yourself. I thought you were a wrestling fan.
I'm free for
I'm
all.
a wrestling enjoyer, I guess. I watch the Royal Rumble every year. I don't mind
What's
watching
that?
it.
Is that like the World Series? What's
Oh, the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Is a wrestling match where they bring in
It's a-
40 people.
Yeah. It's
And
Okay.
only one comes out.
yeah, it's like a.
They kill everyone else?
all right?
Call me when
okay,
they come
back
with a
in.
George the Animal Steel.
Anyhow,
I'll
this
be in.
every man for himself version I liked better than the normal version, the 1 versus 1. It
Okay.
was really fun because the way it's set up is I'm about to pin Mike, but then Z can rescue Mike at the last second.
Yeah, I don't like
And
that
so-
example, but sure.
I'm there for you, Mike.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
He's helping
Got
you.
you.
Okay, no.
But no, the only reason he would stop me is so that he could then pin you himself.
Right.
And there's a lot of back and forth. And you watch your game. It was very fun. It's very wrestling oriented. I mean, if you like wrestling, you'll like this game. If you don't care about wrestling, I cannot recommend this to you because
Sure.
it is theme, right? This is all theme. So you're not buying this because, well, I don't like wrestling, but the mechanisms.
Got it.
It's theme. I mean, the mechanisms are good, but
Okay.
I liked it. From Cat Iron Arts. That's what they told me how that's pronounced.
Okay.
All right, Cows versus Aliens Invasion.
Joey said this would have been his pick of the week.
Did he?
Yes.
I accept that. It's now fact. Someone say something good.
I like green. I drive cars.
This looks okay. I mean, they're really pushing here for a silly, cutesy, but also not just make a game. Let's make a game and 2 expansions and plushie toys and a big cone. And it's like, whoa.
This looks like something you would be selling at Spencer's Gifts. Or
Yeah,
something. You know what I mean?
like these guys going full Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole
But
like.
you got to get your foot in the door before you get that Jeffrey Giraffe's approval. Slow your roll. Make just a game.
Hey, good news. In 97 years, Jeffrey the Giraffe will be public domain.
I'm going to make a board game about Jeffrey the Giraffe. You know who that is?
No.
Okay, have you
Is
ever
it a
seen
wrestler?
WWE?
Okay, it's a wrestler. Got it.
No!
Oh,
Jumped
it's
in
not
the
a
way of my
wrestler.
joke!
Oh, it's not a wrestler.
Yes,
Is it a joke? I don't
No, it's a
understand.
giraffe from Toys R Us.
Oh, I don't know.
Did you see that movie?
Have you heard of Toys R Us?
You two are going
Anyway, this
Guys, I
game
am
does not look very
culturally dumb.
interesting, I thought. It looks kind of... The video was cute.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah, it's
I also-
going for a vibe. You
You know what I don't like? I will say this about it.
Green.
No, they went for cutesy, cute cows, cute aliens, but then like one of their taglines is kicking grass.
Right.
Oh.
I'm like,
That's like right at the
why?
beginning, right? It's like right at the top. And
Yeah, and they say it in the video too.
Yeah.
Well, it could be like what a lot of cartoons do nowadays is where they
You think
it's
so?
for the kids, but they're also like, hey, adult, this joke was for y'all.
Yeah, wink, wink. Yeah.
What is the one? Isn't there a kids game? It's like an educational game. It's not by Hasbro or it's not Hasbro. It's the other one. Anyway, but it's like this, and it's like cow invasion or alien invasion or something, and the
Yeah.
aliens are coming and getting the cows.
Yeah.
I was getting
Yes.
this one confused
I
with
definitely
that.
we have talked about something like that.
We played something like that.
All right. The 18 Hex Games Collection Volume 2. Now this one, we have about 6 of the Hex games from Volume 1 here. And I only have gotten one to the table and did not enjoy it, but that could be just an anomaly. It's like the
Sure.
pack of gums one. So I'm not going to say yes or no.
Right.
On these, one of the reasons they don't get to the table so much is because most of them are one, at least the ones I have, are 1 to 2 players.
Right.
Right.
And what do you think of the packaging?
I don't love it, but I don't hate it either.
Yeah.
I like the idea of this as a collection.
Sure.
I just don't really like the look of most of them.
Castle
And
Duel looks all right.
their
there.
graphic design, I don't know. I feel like many of them aren't using the fact that they are hexes to maximum effect.
Got it.
I'm getting this feeling of like, ooh, these aren't quite done. Most
Right,
of them.
right.
I think the one that has the red and the black
The
and white
Castle Duel
dots
looks pretty good.
that one looks decent, like an
Yeah.
abstract, obviously very abstracted.
What about
I would not be surprised to see that being showed off at a prototype con, but
One thing I will say about it, I love the continuity of their graphic there that has the 6 different categories, and they show, 6, if you go up just a little bit, up a little right there, how it'll have like, where is it on memory, where is it on luck, where is
Yeah.
it on strategy, where
Yeah.
is it on difficulty. I love that they have that. So as you're looking at this whole catalog of games, you can be like, oh, maybe not that one then. You can pinpoint.
I agree, but it does
player
worry
count,
me.
Yes.
designers,
I really wish that was just like industry standard,
I like that, but I don't want memory to be one of the choices.
I'm okay with it being choices because then I know if it has any of them filled, I don't get it.
Yeah, maybe.
I just
maybe.
want the empty memory one.
Oh, apparently they had a little hiccup because of we got storms in the area, folks.
Yeah, it's been. Are we still good? Are we still
I'm assuming we are.
streaming?
We
All
still-
right.
I think we're back, it says.
Yeah, there's just rain everywhere, every day. All
There's
right.
been thunder happening too.
Yep.
Here's our singular GameFound project of the week: WARLINE X Dragon's War.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the X means.
Well, there's no X on the cover, is there?
That must have been they mean by.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's the company, yeah.
You're not multiplying it. Okay.
So this is cubes. I've played this game, haven't I?
Oh,
We
really?
talked about it. We sure have talked about it quite
1
a
to
bit.
2 players.
This
Oh, wow.
Warline has been featured a few times on here. I feel like you've played it, Tom.
I think I hated it.
Why don't
can
you look
look
it
it
up on
up.
BGG?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was easy.
That was easy.
Why did I
Oh,
type?
wow.
Why don't you go to your payment system and look me up for a second? I need to show you where a decimal point
Why'd you go to
goes.
PayPal? I've got some information I want you to enter.
No, I didn't rate this one.
Give it a
Oh,
3.
it's a higher rating than I thought.
Maybe you know what? I played a different game with cubes that I didn't like. I don't know. I don't know that I like the cube as unit system. I don't know that that's fun. It's like, oh, we played an abstract game with cubes. Remember when you turn them on the different sides and then they do different things? Yeah, see? And this was like less than 2 months ago.
Really?
Yes.
I like the functionality of it, like you said, with like, oh, pip it up, it gets stronger, pip it down, the health goes down. That kind of like as a functional unit on the board, I prefer that than a mini that has like a bunch of tokens attached or a bunch of damage on it and you're moving it around. I think functionally the dice work better, but I prefer theme.
To me, this looks like a lot of projects, unfortunately, this week. Generic. It looks... Yeah, it exists, and that's about the best thing I can say for it. Obviously, again, I've not played. Maybe I'll play it, and it'll be my favorite game ever. I'm talking about wanting to play. That feeling of this draws me in, makes me sit forward in my seat and take notice. It's just not doing it.
I will say for a 30 to 60 minute time frame, though, I didn't realize it was that short of a play.
That could be a lie, though.
It could be a lie.
These games sometimes lie about the time. I don't know why we're so lax about that part.
I agree.
Like time, like ages for like the age of a game.
Yeah.
That seems to be taken seriously, generally speaking. The player count seems to be taken seriously. And people will give a game garbage if that's incorrect. The time, no one seems to care.
No.
That game could say 30 to 60, and then it comes out, it's 4 hours, and no one's like, oh, well, it was slightly off. No, it wasn't slightly off.
Yeah, no, it was...
Oh, we meant 60 per player. Yeah.
Right, complete lie.
Anyway.
That's true. But if it is really 30 to 60 minutes, just a real quick battle game, that's in his favor.
Well, we'll see. Oath! Busting the doors down. New foundations. An expansion for Oath or a new way to get Oath? Although I think you could just...
You can get Oath, right? It's available
anyway, right?
Yeah.
From Leader Games. And so I have not played Oath. You all have. So Mike, tell me what the new stuff is.
Well...
Thank you for coming. All right, let's go to the next...
No, really the main thing I want to say is echoing what you said before we came on camera, which is that
Mike, you smell. Oh, not that?
Yeah.
No, that was you. He said it to you.
He said it about my drink.
Yes.
I was having some kombucha, and he said...
Why?
Because it's good for my gut.
Ugh.
I'm all about gut health.
I know it's
He is good
kombucha.
health.
I'm on Mike's side.
Yeah. All I was saying was that, or all you were saying, and I agree with you on, is that
It's rotten tea.
I'm surprised it's doing this well. Because Oath, when it came out, was a very niche game, right? It's designed to be. It's designed to be. Well, I can't say that. Maybe he wants everybody in the world to play it, but it's not the kind of game that is really going to probably have mass appeal. But wait, it's doing $700,000 for an expansion, right? And the base game is still available. So this isn't like, oh, these are people that didn't have Oath that are wanting to get Oath.
And that's what's interesting is like if you are interested in this, get the expansion here and then go get the game. Play the game between now and the time that this delivers, and then you're ready for the expansion.
And I'm also surprised in the sense that Oath is a game that it's not a legacy game, but you are adding a bunch of stuff, and every time the game is changing somewhat, right? You've got this big deck of cards. And I wonder how many of the people that are backing this have really played through much of the stuff they have for Oath.
Well, it seemed like this expansion was precisely for those people. Even in the video, the designer talks about how there were never any plans to put an expansion out. Everything they wanted in the game was in the game. And I believe it.
Yes.
And then he kept getting questions of, hey, is there an expansion?
Right.
He would respond, well, there's this many hours in the game already, and they would go, yeah, but I've played 50 times.
Yeah, and that could be.
And so that's what the expansion seems to be targeting.
Right.
And if so, kudos for being upfront about that. This is an expansion for super fans.
Yeah.
The surprising part, like Tom was saying, is that there are this many super fans.
And
that's good, though. I mean,
I believe the other thing that Cole, the designer, said was that...
See, I didn't name drop. Mike felt the need to.
Cole's in the next room. You watch what you say.
Get in here, Cole.
Because I believe he said that this expansion wouldn't exist if it wasn't for him designing arcs. That a lot of the ideas from this came from the design of arcs. So that's interesting.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I also could be making that up, but I'm pretty sure he said that.
It's like
I'll ask him when we're done.
Like you've played arcs.
Hey, Cole!
All right, well, on that note, Return to Seventh Citadel. Explore, build, you are the hero. Now, this one's also doing well with over $1 million. Now, this one's interesting, I think, because they took forever to bring out Return to Seventh Citadel. This one says the estimated delivery here is November.
November.
I'm not...
Of this year?
No.
This year.
Well, but here's the thing, though.
It's just a second
This is just
reprint.
the novice. This is the collector's core box. No, that's that. If you want the expansion,
Oh, is that later?
then this is next year. So as
Okay.
someone who likes
Okay.
Seventh Citadel a lot, it's really growing on me. I'm like, yeah, I'll gladly back this because by the time this content comes, I'll have finished Seventh Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind the extra content in this one. And
I get that.
They also did really well the last time they added more content to the seventh continent. That content I thought was fire. It was below and above or whatever it was called.
It is an interesting thing, though. I mean, like they're saying in the chat, the last campaign took close to 4 years.
Right.
That you are really trusting that people are going to be forgiving of that.
I mean,
You know
maybe
what I mean?
also it's because it's not the whole game. It's
Yeah,
just
maybe.
an expansion. Maybe
Right.
they made big
Yeah,
systems
they're not having to do
overhaul.
the development
right,
work as
maybe.
much,
And
yeah.
I'm not. I agree with you. That is like kind of not a red flag. I think you are going to get your game, and they are proven with that.
I mean, they're making
But,
$1 million
yeah.
bucks.
I think we all
doing
expected
something
this,
right.
but not yet. You know,
I'm
the
there
game
with you.
came like last month. I was like, oh, I thought this would be in 6 months. We would
but
see this.
That is
so.
definitely a trend on crowd funding that we were noticing.
hot.
This idea of when something delivers, you hit them with the next thing in that line.
Yeah.
Right? So,
capitalizing.
an expansion's coming to something. As soon as people get it, boom, hit them with it.
Yeah.
Well, I think-
Don't give them time to explore that big box. Hit them with the expansion right now while it's in people's
Sure, but
mind.
that's what I'm saying, though. If you play this consistently, you'll have this done by the time that comes out.
In 4 years? In a year?
A year. Well, it
In
might
a
be-
year, probably, right? Yeah.
I do like. So there's a book here. That's the first garden. That's another. I'm trying to figure out if there's going to be one or two. How many books are coming? Because each of those books is a whole campaign.
Wow.
And there's 2 in the base game, and then there's a third one that came with the extra stuff. If you got the Kickstarter exclusive stuff.
Cool.
I don't
No,
know.
I'm glad that they're putting out more for it. Yeah.
3 good
stuff.
fellows. Man, it looks so good.
One doesn't have a head.
Strand it remains. I'm always nervous about these things. Oh, this bookworm stuff. This is an expansion. I think it came with the first one, unless this is a new one. One of my favorite things ever. You find, they're like scattered throughout the land. You might find a book. Then you randomly take a book, and it opens up like that. And the book could be anything. One was like describing a place to us, and it's like, if we ever find this place, I'm like, ooh. One was like, would you like to learn a spell? We're like, maybe. I don't know. It was just fun. They're written like a poem. They might be a puzzle. They might be something. I thought that was a fun expansion.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
anyway, this is a really cool game. So, looking forward to the expansion. My biggest complaint about the game is they need to stop drawing people.
It is the same style of art as in the first one, right?
is.
It is, but look at that. It looks like
Yeah,
it
it's
looks like a
okay.
character generation screen. You're like, change hair. Blah. Change.
At least it has a style it sticks with.
Oh, it has
you
a
know?
I
style.
agree. Like looking at
that's-
this, you show me any artwork, like I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Seventh Citadel, Seventh Continent
Yeah.
style. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but at least I'm.
And this
glad
part,
they
I
chose
really,
that.
I love this whole Final Fantasy X chart thing here, where you are checking things off in this grid, and the farther out you go, you get different things. That's fun.
So this is a roll and write. Interesting.
It is. Yes. All right, Neverrift, the board game trading card game combo. Do you guys want to mix a trading card game with a board game?
No.
Z?
Yes.
So
Sure.
this is all you. This is all
I'm gonna.
Z.
Yeah. This looks very okay.
I thought you were getting ready to be positive about it.
No.
Because you were like ready for you to bash it, and you're like, no.
This looks just like another trading card game with lanes and positional like grid thing on top of it. The whole thing just looks like, hey, another trading card game style thing, but this time with a grid. so we get to call it a board game?
You're
Almost
right.
kind of reminded me like in Summoner's Wars, and I've not played that, but they have that grid thing, right? And you're moving the cards
right.
around. It was like a mix of those two to me.
There's
which,
a lot of those. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't think this is even particularly innovative just because they call it a board game too.
I know, that's wild because
Yeah.
there's positional.
yeah.
The cards reference their positions to each other.
Right.
Bam, it's a board
Therefore
game.
it's a board
Yeah.
game.
Nah, guys, come on. It's
No.
a trading card game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now that being said, this one feels legit.
Well, it doesn't look like it's being speculated as much.
It's still being speculated.
Sure, sure.
That just comes with the TCG territory.
Right.
It's wild to me how much money these games make.
Honestly, it seems like you put out any kind of TCG, you're guaranteed to get
I don't
a couple hundred
get
grand
it.
at least.
Don't get it.
Yeah. Now, again, I do think that there's a community that none of us are a part of,
Right.
where maybe these things are getting a lot more hype and press, and people are looking forward to these games that we've never heard of.
Yeah.
You think these are getting played out there?
I think they may be. I don't know.
I'm
Roy
assuming
would
they're
probably have a
getting
better
delivered.
idea
Okay,
on this.
that's
I
the
don't
first
know.
assumption. I assume they're getting delivered.
Yeah.
I occasionally see some random stuff sitting in a store that no one's touching.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's it. They're just sitting there. Well, I guess the brunt of these are going to be in a few years. We'll find out then.
Yeah.
KUGO, the Flick Game Making Kit. So you want to make your own flicking game. Mm-hmm. I got to give him credit. Not seen this before ever.
No,
Right.
this is something unique.
I
It
thought this
looks
was
good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
interesting. It was like, oh, it could be kind of like a Catapult Kingdoms, or Crossbows and Catapults, or it could be kind of a golfing game. Like
Yeah.
I was like immediately, I think I was just thinking about a lot of kind of the dexterity games I like, or maybe you don't even make a game out of it. You just set up an obstacle course
That's
and
the
you go
thing.
through the obstacle course.
Yeah.
You know, I could definitely see myself playing with this, like a family game night kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of like things that are designed specifically for children that are like make your own board game, right?
Yeah.
And they always turn out to be a roll and write. This is something that I think is so intuitive.
Roll and move, you mean?
Yeah, roll and move.
Oh,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry. But this is something I think you don't even have to say anything. Just put it in front of a kid, and they're going to start making their own games with it.
And I think so. I mean, take Jenga for example. You know, my son pulls that out, or did when he was younger, pulled that out, and always like made these castles like dominoes.
Right.
And he did this with that. Is what I'm
Right,
trying to say.
right,
And it
right.
wouldn't be to play Jenga, just to play Jenga, or just to build a castle.
Right.
He would make little games for himself, or set up like a train track with
Yeah.
it, all kinds of stuff. And I think this fits right
Has
along
anyone
with that.
ever not used their Jenga set at least once in your childhood to play dominoes with? 'Cause
Like
you
just
said that-
topple them?
Yeah, my son just did that the other day.
Oh,
Because
sure.
with Jenga, you turn Jenga into Domino Rally.
Yeah, I definitely only
That's
did that as a
throwback,
kid.
Domino Rally.
That's-
Anyway, I
think
think
it's cool.
I think this is a great page too.
Yeah, it's nice.
Very well done. The whole thing looks very professional. I'm pretty impressed by this.
Yeah, this looks ready to go.
It does fall into the thing that you complain about, where like, well, give me one good game.
Yeah.
There might be games in there already. I'm not sure.
But
'Cause
I'm
there are
very-
two boxes. It's like KUGO Play and KUGO Tricks, which is like a smaller one.
Right.
But that KUGO Play, the bigger one with all the variety in the box, how well finalized it looks, the components, the wooden components, seem high quality.
Yeah.
And like you said, this is perfect to put in front of a kid and be like,
Yep.
play. Just who
just
cares what
go
they
do
do?
something.
You know what I mean? You can just stack
Yep.
them. You can just
Yep.
literally put like the thing and flick at it to topple it. Do that for
Right.
a half an hour.
Or who
Okay,
can-
so
or
it says
who
it's
can
coming
stack
at the
the
end of the
highest,
year.
or-
Doesn't
so
matter, right.
What's the
Yeah.
first Dice Tower con that it'll be at?
Ooh, and do they make a giant size?
I know you're thinking about putting this in the dexterity area.
I would never.
Yeah.
Actually, I want this big board here.
Yeah.
But it's UK.
No, it says U.S. and U.K.
Wait, does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Oh,
it's UK and
EU.
EU.
Sorry.
Oh.
EU. Wah, 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 Dan Hughes.
How big is it total?
Dan,
Totally.
I need you to put something in your luggage
It's like,
for the
we got
retreat.
That's
Dan,
right,
we
Dan.
got Uli, we
Put
got...
this in the seat next to you.
I know you were going to bring someone with you,
Yeah.
but nah.
His son.
Okay. Backpack Panda.
Oh, I want this to be so much better. I want this to be something completely different than what it is. Like, I
because
find
you
this
like the panda?
adorable. It is so cute.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing is I kind of, this is probably me being cynical, but it feels like this is cynical. It's like,
Yeah.
let's put a panda in this, and that's really what it's about.
That's all, yeah.
We're trying to attract people. The game is secondary to the panda.
It
Yeah.
really is.
I was like,
Yeah.
could this be any other game, please?
Also,
so cute.
terrible kind of a waste of art. I mean,
Yeah.
not waste of art. They didn't use enough art.
No,
Yes, I
no,
agree.
it's
I
a lot of
agree.
recycling.
It's a lot of recycle. That's like there's like a very AI one for the limited edition one. The whole thing looks very. I think cynical is a good way to put it, Mike. This one feels designed to trick people into giving them money. It has that feeling of like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, let's manipulate some folks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It feels
Let's
like a
make
hook.
sure it looks. Yeah,
Like
let's make sure it's cute. It
Yeah.
features this. It has to have that. Cute foxes, cute, whatever it takes
yeah.
to hit that algorithm and make people buy. It feels cynical.
Yeah.
The game is tertiary, probably at best.
Richard Saunders. They are pandering.
Yes.
Anyhow,
It doesn't look very good.
Escape the Rat Race. So this is if you accidentally turn on that horrible movie, The Rat Race.
Oh gosh.
That's a
Rat
t-
Race is a very good film.
That was
You
a-
watch your mouth.
That was a very anticipated movie for me when I first heard about it because it was full of really funny people.
Yeah.
They just forgot to put the funny in it.
I disagree. Mr. Bean's in it. He's very funny.
He's pretty terrible in that movie too.
That movie does not hold up.
No.
I don't think it held up when it came out.
I think I liked it the first time I saw it.
I hate it so much. The Mad World is much better. Anyhow, Escape the Rat Race by playing a game about the rat race.
This one, I know this is dumb to kind of get hung up on, but it seemed like you're trying to collect 3 memories from each decade of a life, right? But then you're paying for those memories or life events out of sequence. If you like I was watching the playthrough, it's not like you have to build up your 20s and then your 30s and then your 40s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, is what I was getting. So thematically, I was automatically like, wait, what? You could have gone with any theme for this.
Yeah.
And that's the one you went with, and it felt like such a disconnect. And again, maybe I'm wrong, but looking through the how to play, I was just like, immediately kind of turned off by that lack of theme when it seemed to be pushing it, because it talks about you have this salary. It was like heavily leaning into the theme, but then had such a disconnect with it.
Yeah.
The whole thing seemed like.
Oh, there's an NSFW. I mean,
of
I'm
course
back
there is.
in.
Of course there is. It seemed the whole thing seemed like the Chan's cards from
Monopoly.
It was like, you win the
Yeah.
lottery.
Yeah.
Your identity was stolen. I saw those 2 things. I'm like, all right, I get
Yeah,
it.
we
I'm
got
dead.
it.
All right. I almost said
Furrylands!
I almost read Furrylands. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not playing that game. Furylands. And a very unique
No, you have
looking
to say
guy.
the whole name.
Ashes of Avalon.
Board game.
You know what, though? That's one of those subtitles that doesn't help at all.
No.
Not
Right,
at
yeah.
You're like,
all.
Ashes of Avalon. I'm like, wait, I played that game.
Maybe.
I'm like, oh, set on that
Yeah.
world of, whatever
Also,
other
I have
game.
a feeling when they were naming this, they're like, no one's going to say it's Furrylands, right? No, it's
Oh my
Furylands.
gosh.
And then every single person's Furrylands.
Absolutely, that's what you read.
This one's somehow more generic than that other fantasy one we looked at.
But it also doesn't tell you anything about the game. Like, it's very, you have 60 different options. You have this. It just felt like, and more. But also, where's the game?
Well, they're not doing. Oh, they are doing minis. Take that back.
Yeah, it's standees and minis,
I
and
gotcha.
everything's very dark. Everything
Right.
is
Yeah.
very like grim and and you might as well have said this was a TCG board game, and I would have
Right.
believed it.
Yeah.
It looks like that. It's
Yeah.
the same stuff. I'm sorry, this is so thematically bland. It is so much mush.
I feel like it definitely needs an overhaul on the page, too. The page also isn't helping that. It's not
It's-
bringing the information that you need in
It's
order to
super
back a
dark.
game.
Right.
How much more black could it be? And the answer is none. None more black.
I gotta be honest. I know we get yelled at sometimes because we're not very positive
Yeah.
about games like this, but there's nothing here. What is this game?
What is
we
it?
have
We don't know.
Dungeon Crawl upon Adventure Game
Yeah.
on
Yes.
Dungeon Crawl showing up, and
Seriously. Yeah.
and there's really clever ones that are coming out. This is not one.
I'm afraid that this particular kind of genre now, this dungeon crawly type genre, is just so oversaturated, and they're really not iterating much. It's like,
That's the thing. You have to set
oh,
yourself
we come up
apart.
with new names of these people.
Yeah.
They're essentially doing the same things.
Yeah.
You gotta do something. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the same thing. This game feels like it exists already. That is not the feeling you
Several
want.
times. Several times.
When somebody looks at this and they go, wait, is this a reprint? Because I think I own it.
Right.
You don't want that
That's
from
a
people
bad
who are
sign.
interested in this.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You should tell. I feel like it should tell me why I want this one instead of 5 others that are up at the same
Right.
time, or the 5 campaigns that I'm in the middle of and haven't finished yet, or whatever. But yeah, it needs to sell it for sure.
All right. You know it. A new party game. Now, this one's doing very well. I mean, 62,000 doesn't look like a lot, but 1,300 backers
Yeah, that's,
is
that's
quite
pretty good.
a bit. Is this a...
No
He's
rolls
from No
barred.
Rolls
No Rolls
Barred,
Barred,
so
yeah.
he must be known from that.
Right,
Yes.
and that's going to attract people immediately.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it was a funny video too. I think the
Yeah,
video's
yeah, yeah.
charming with
Video's
it for
fun.
sure.
Yeah, and the game is very simple. It's, again, you watch that video, you take a look at half the page, and you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
I know if I want this or not. There's
Right.
no surprises here.
Right.
It's a trivia game where you are both answering trivia and betting on if other people will know or not know that trivia question.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually like that concept.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
fine.
it's not bad.
Bring a dummy with you and like, hey, I just want you to come here. Pretend you're super smart.
Right.
Every
It's like dinner
time.
for schmucks, basically.
Wow.
Party games for schmucks.
You're really gonna go to Joey like that? My goodness.
Whoa!
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Cole, get in here.
Bring Joey.
Your name's not Joey.
Can't bring
Anyhow.
Joey. You can't call Joey. He won't know where to go. Why you walk out?
Wow! I'd like to apologize.
Whoa.
Mike, you're going back to Indiana.
Mike makes everyone else meaner, right?
I'm bringing Joey with me. I'm dropping him off halfway.
I know I've seen videos with this guy in before. All right. Anyhow, yeah, I don't know. I think it looks interesting.
It looks interesting.
I might get it.
Yeah.
Mythic Battles Isfet. So this is the third, and I think they said final maybe in this.
Really?
I don't know. Probably not. If it
Yeah,
makes
they just
money.
made 757,000. I have a feeling they're going to have another reunion tour.
So
Yeah,
Mythic
maybe.
Battles, the first one was Greek, then the second one was
What is
Norse.
the first one called? Mythic Battles
Pantheon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pantheon.
And Mythic Battles Ragnarok, which
Yeah.
I just reviewed with
Okay.
Joey.
Okay, it is
now-
the same game. I was going to ask
Yeah,
you if that
that
was the
game.
same one.
They are
All right.
completely compatible. It's a system.
Yeah.
And this one, frankly, is the one theme-wise I'm most interested in. I like this giant croc. I love
You
this
like
sort
the
of thing.
Oh,
Egyptian
that croc
stuff
is
with the
funny.
big frog, the big like hippo?
I like
yeah.
it. Well, maybe about as much as the Greek. Actually, the Norse stuff's the least interesting to me because Vikings, who likes them?
Okay.
I don't know. There's not a lot of games that let you fight with Egyptian monsters, really.
No, I agree. And the look of these critters and these people, these, whatever, I agree it is more distinct than, hey, it's Thor and
Yeah,
Freya. Even though that game's interpretation of those things is pretty neat, I'm talking about Ragnarok, I agree this one looks a little fresher. There's not as many games that delve into this imagery as there are games that delve into that, Ragnarok, whatever imagery.
It's definitely a game where you're moving around the board and you're chucking dice.
Yes.
If you like that in a game, that's what this is going to do for you. I'm not saying it's random. There's strategy and things you can do and special powers, but you're chucking dice and you're chucking a lot of dice. Oh, Sobek. That's a
Is
cool
it-
looking Sobek.
Isn't this one you were saying though? It's like you really have to get to know your individual faction, or am I messing up games?
No, factions.
Or like your individual
You
person,
pick,
whatever,
you pick
or your-
creatures,
or
and then you
creature,
kind of
okay.
go at it. But they have a lot of rules each. You do need to.
Huh.
Yeah, you do need to probably, when you're learning this game, pick the 4 or 5 or so that interest you, and then just play them a lot. So you're not constantly missing abilities.
Got it.
Because
Okay.
it's a lot of overhead with
Okay.
those little rules,
Definitely, it is about as close you can get to a miniatures game
Right.
with a board. I
Yeah.
mean, if you measured for how far they moved, it would be a
a
straight
miniature.
miniatures game. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that you're using a
okay.
board.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I love the boat.
Oh, I like the boat.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
It's very cool. I do
like the
wonder,
first.
though, this is going to be taking a tremendous amount of shelf space, right? Every single one of these
Well,
boxes.
I mean, it depends how many you
Yeah,
have.
they're big.
Yeah.
They're big. A box with all the cards and all the cards, all of the dice, all of those, a few, and then a whole other box with miniatures. So it's at the very least 2 big boxes.
Wow. Is it one that you go through and you pick, like, oh, I like this Egyptian theme better, so I'll get this one, or I like this other theme better, I'll get that one?
Yeah, they are
Is it?
compatible.
Okay.
Okay.
You can take, whichever one. I haven't played any but the
Do you know
Ragnarok.
if you can take a Ragnarok creature and an Egyptian creature
We're
on the
getting a
same
lot of.
side?
Uh-oh,
I think so.
hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we haven't gone out. Oh, we're back. Okay, we were out for a little
okay,
while.
back
We
again.
never left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can combine creatures from here with creatures or people from Ragnarok because it's to a certain number of points. So when I put together my team, we play to like, I don't know, I grab 16 points worth of monsters. I can take that crocodile might be 5, and then my main boss is 8 or whatever. You know,
I like these maps.
these maps are great. They're really
that's
vibrant too, compared to the ones in Ragnarok, I think. So yeah, I like this one. I like the look of this.
Yeah. It looks
All right.
good.
Well, there you go, folks. That's what we have this week. Before we give you our picks of the week, let's jump to Mark.
Streed.
No, we
No,
don't.
we're not jumping to Mark.
Today, Tom.
Let's jump to Alita.
All right. Okay, well then, picks of the week.
Okay, let's.
Did
cut
anyone
to
make
Mike.
a video?
I didn't make a
that
video.
would've
I'm
been
sorry, I didn't
great.
have time.
There was no Kanitia this week, so
No,
what
no.
will you do?
So I'm first?
Yeah.
My pick of the week is FURYLANDS. Oh, I'm sorry, that doesn't exist. My pick of the week is what? Dabba Walla, is that what it's called?
Dabba Walla.
Dabba, yeah.
Dabba
Dabba Walla.
I was so close.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this to me is the most intriguing game. I like pick up and deliver, so that certainly helps. I think this is one of the best looking recent Queen games. I like the fact that it doesn't seem to be going super over the top with a box bigger than it needs to be. All of those types of things. I really like the theme, and I do like pick up and deliver. So this is my pick of the week, Dabba Walla.
All right. My pick is going to be the KUGO stuff.
KUGO. KUGO.
I
That's
think
really neat.
Yeah.
I
That's a
think
good
this
pick.
looks neat.
That's the runner-up for me. That's a good one.
I mean, I thought about the 7th continent because I like, 7th Citadel because I like it a lot, but this just feels like I normally get annoyed when I see it make a game out of something, except this I know I would.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, I can make miniature golf with it.
You could put this
Yeah.
on your what's the flicking game, the car one? What am I thinking? The pitch car. You can incorporate this into pitch car.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Oh, I love those pieces right
This
there.
is not my pick of the week.
I
Oh,
love
I
those
already
pieces.
went. Okay. Oh, pitch car. I like
Yeah.
that. All right.
But you were going to say pitch car was your pick of the week? I'm confused.
Ooh, that's a...
You were going to change your mind?
Hurry up. Thunder's coming.
Yeah.
That's a big,
Oh,
that's a
my
big
pick of the
fucker.
week is Mythic Battles. Isfet. Yeah, creatures and big nasties. Woo! Monolith, baby! Let's go.
I'm going to go through the Thaloria quest, the adventure journal. This really is like two kind of passions of mine. You know, I love games. I'm not a big RPGer, but I love the idea of mixing this with the planning. Like I said, I'd use it with I've done it with my son. I can definitely see myself.
Journaling in the 4 coins next week.
Oh, okay. All right. Are we doing that next week?
It's back, baby. Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah. Anyway, I think this is a really cool project. I think it is kind of a niche project, but yeah, could have seen myself using it as homeschool. Could use it personally. Absolutely would use it like through this summer with my son. You know, just kind of keep him on track and give him something to do each day. Yeah, really, really like this product, and I like the innovation in the hobby too. It's definitely like a cross of a couple things, and it's bringing these two things together. So really innovative.
I do think they missed out an opportunity to call it Quests of Thaloria, though. You know what I mean? Because that has that classics feel to it. Quests of Thaloria. No, I think they did it right. Now that I think about
You're not selling the point.
I think they did it right. I think they did it right.
Alrighty, folks, there you go. It's Crowdsurfing, but it is not the end of the Summer Spectacular. We still have, well, about half of the Summer Spectacular to go. We're going to be back in about half an hour with some 7 Wonders action, then the second edition of
Trekking the World.
Boom!
We'll see you then. Until then, I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Mike Delisio.
Have fun going to Furryland.
Yeah!
Hey, no!
Welcome to the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular, featuring live plays, contests, and we'd like to thank our sponsors and our special guests, and we hope that you enjoy.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos.
If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.